What'd you make of the dunks from LeBron tonight and how they gave energy to the group?
Yeah, the early rumors are that the league is going to try to get him in the dunk contest this year. There's some juice left in those legs, apparently. The great left bionic leg.
You have Bronny number 1, but if you could rank 2 through 4, the lob from Ayton, the lob from Smart, and the off the dribble on Sar.
I don't know. I'll let my LeBron faithful fan group rate them. You know, I love those guys.
I told JJ, I said, if it was not LeBron James at the end of that alley-oop, I would be right there sitting next to you. He started laughing. It was just a fact. Because I'm like, yo, I threw it out of bounds. I threw the ball out of bounds. I'm like, yeah, it was one of those things you see on Bleacher Report where, you know, LeBron do spectacular things, and that was one of them. I'm over there like this. Yikes. And I saw the left hand. Yeah, he did that. And he looked at the hand. I'm like, wow, I'm like, yeah. You did that. You know, I was shaking my head. I know I was a little embarrassed, but I'm just happy it was LeBron James that caught that. Trust me.
Points were good, 64 points in the paint. And, you know, this is the game they supposed to win, and they finally came out and did everything they were supposed to do. Washington made a little run there in the third and fourth, but the Lakers did a really good job early in the game. Luka, amazing. DeAndre Ayton really showed what he can do and what he want him to do every night, dominating in the paint. And they did what they're supposed to do against a weak team. They dominated and got the win and got some rest for some of their starters and move on to the next one.
You got to let them know sometime when it comes to teams that are underneath you. And I think that's the perfect thing with the Lakers is they came out, Luka set the tone by letting them know this is not going to be one of those games where you can say, oh, we beat the Lakers and make your season. So they came out aggressive on both ends of the floor. They attacked the basket. Luka was, you know, dishing the rock, getting everybody involved, grabbing rebounds. So it was just a total, you know, dominant performance by the LA Lakers.
Yeah, any night like that where you get 3 guys with 20 or more, you shoot 61% from the field, 42% from 3, and also a fun night for the bench. They had 51 points, but really got to start with Luka, guys. His 53rd 30-point triple-double. He now leads Jokic by 2. He finished with 37, 11, and 13. James, in the end of the first quarter, he had 16, 7, and 7. At half, he had 26, 11, and 11. He could have done anything he wanted out there today. He just had it all going.
Yeah, when he's in this mode that he was tonight against Washington, if the defenses don't play him really aggressive, like I'm talking about trapping him, making him pick it up, getting physical with him, if you don't do that against Luka, he's going to pick you apart. And that's what happened tonight. They were I thought they were playing defense, but it wasn't enough. And he was able to just move wherever he wanted with the pace he wanted and get to areas that he wanted to get to. And that's just how phenomenal he is. I don't think defenses know how to play him unless you're blitzing him, making him pick it up, double teaming. One-on-one, he's a nightmare.
Rob, does that say he's done it twice since 96, 97 in the play-by-play era? Yeah. Luka Doncic has 2 25-point triple-doubles in half.
Yep. I think about I've never had a triple-double. He had it at halftime. I think, you know, tonight was a perfect example when, you know, you try to trap Luka, which they did, and Luka just found people. You know, he had that one pass where he flicked the wrist so fast, guy got it and laid it up. And that's the sign of a guy understanding what he needs to do. Like, there's a lot of times when you play teams where you come out, you try to get yours. Luka got his, but he got people involved, which is more important. And that's the main thing with this Laker team, especially, you know, DeAndre Ayton, 28 points tonight on 12-14. You know, sometimes you have to have a guy like that when he rolls, find and feed him. Lobs to Jackson Hayes, lobs to DeAndre Ayton, lobs to LeBron. It was pretty much Lob City tonight.
And, you know, it's interesting. We were watching him in the first half through this pass to DeAndre Ayton as he's hanging in the air, kind of near the sideline, just past half court. But he's like waiting because he told Mike Trudell, I'm reading everything. He's just waiting for DeAndre Ayton to clear, and he flicks it to him. Easy bucket. Like, he just did that all night.
Yeah, all night. And, you know, that's the thing when you play a team like the Wizards, their defense was horrendous. So you got to exploit the defense. He was passing the ball, and it was no, you know, I don't think if you watch the game, I mean, I know they got some steals, but sometimes you had to put your hands in lane for tip ball. It wasn't none of that. It was just the Lakers passing tonight was really good, except when they tried to do the home run balls. But other than that, I just thought the way they moved the ball, the way they shared ball was great, especially going into this next game where they're going to need more of that.
You guys both talked about DeAndre Ayton being a big factor tonight, especially going against this Wizards team. You knew he'd be able to feast. Rob, you picked him for Take Your Shot. When we were doing our game day fast break questions, James, you said he's having 22 and 12. He actually flew by that. He ended up with 28 points, 13 rebounds, and 3 blocks. And his activity on both ends was fantastic. Rob talked about at halftime just how energy with that ball moving, and he's involved, how he creates everything for him. And listen, the Lakers are now 17-1 when he scores 15 plus. But he was awesome tonight. It was great to see.
That's the one I remember. 17-1 when he has 15 plus points. Look, he's so important to this team. They brought him here for a reason. He's the big that was available after the Williams trade didn't go through. And so he's here. And they gotta, from now until, the playoffs, they gotta make sure that he's tough and that he's efficient and that he's a big part of what they're trying to do. And the way you do that is you feed the beast and you tell him that, we need you every night. So I'm glad that he got a bounce back game tonight. I mean, it was against the Wizards. Going into New York.
Hey, it's an NBA team.
It's an NBA team, you're right. We're going into New York, keep that same energy.
Even though Rob said before the show, I thought that was a little, it was a lot when you said they're not going to make the playoffs for the next 20 years. I don't know about that, but I don't care who you're playing. That's a big night.
Oh, it's the NBA. And we've seen a lot of teams, come up to bite us in situations
Wizards
like this.
on a 2-game win streak.
Yeah, and I think, people are going to say, well, it was against the Wizards. No, it was against the NBA team. You don't say that when he did that against other teams. And for me, you have to understand the game. The game is about getting buckets. And sometimes when your threes aren't falling, you got to get buckets. Why not go to a guy, I think he's shooting 58% from the field? That's pretty good. That's Shaq-like. Nobody complained about Shaq getting those type of numbers, right? If this was Shaq in the Laker uniform, that's Shaq being Shaq. And so you got to understand that this game is evolved, and it's about threes, but every night the threes aren't going to fall, so you do have to feed a guy like this in the post.
And I like that the Lakers knew how they could attack this team, and yes, the 3-ball fell tonight. They made 14 of them. They shot 42%, but if you throw in Jackson Hayes' line, then the two bigs combined for 39 points on 16 of 19 from the field. So the Lakers knew what they were doing, and they exploited it, and they took advantage of it.
Yeah, their offensive set was run. They got so many lobs, Skeeter. Yeah. Especially early. Lobs to Ayton, lobs to everybody, especially Ayton. He got a lot of lobs. I bet he probably had maybe 4 or 5 lobs tonight. So you're right. They attacked the offense, whether they were trying to play a little zone or whether they were playing man-to-man. They had a lot of downhill, LeBron, Luka, and then when the defenses help, Ayton always finds himself behind the defense. He's always there for that lob. He and Jackson Hayes, so they must practice that a lot because he ate him up tonight from the lob position.
Can we just throw some props out to our 41-year-old for some of the dunks he had?
Oh, yes.
The left-handed one.
From Ayton.
Was ridiculous. Oh, he had one from Ayton, too, on a lob.
That was the left-handed one.
But he also had a left-handed one where he drove the lane on Alex Sarr in the fourth and threw it down. But yeah, he caught one.
Yeah, I was talking about the lob.
He had to catch it with the left.
I thought he threw it out. I thought it was, no, LeBron got that.
He had 3 wild dunks. I think B. Moore, actually, our producer, is excited about this because he was watching with me. So he's going to find these dunks. But, he continues to amaze. Big game. 20 points tonight. We knew he didn't have his best night in Cleveland. We know it was an emotional night. But he comes out, shoots 50% from the field, gets the 6 dimes and the 20 points easy, and just some unbelievable dunks. And here are a couple of them. Big game.
Well, that was nice right there to reach back with the left after that pass from Ayton. LeBron running that baseline. Rob, you still can do that, can't you?
Negative. And here's the crazy part about this. People don't understand. LeBron jumped off his left leg. So that means he couldn't really reach back that far with it, but he did.
Here's another one. This is the lob
from Marcus Smart.
Just another reverse lob for LeBron. Look at that.
I don't think they understand. This dude's 41 years old. His head is above the rim. I know he's 6'8", 6'9", but still, that's incredible.
Rob, this is the one. I mean, come on, stick it.
Yeah. I still, look what leg he jumps off of. It's the left leg.
That's wild.
If anybody know LeBron, that power leg is that right leg. That's why he has a sleeve on it to keep it warm and ready. But to watch a guy go in, jump off his left, and then still stick it with the left is amazing.
Before we talk about the team's 38 assists, a season high, can you rank the dunks, the three from tonight? Which one would you go with?
I think I have to go with the alley-oop.
Is number one?
It's number one.
The alley-oop, the two-hand reverse, or the left-handed catch?
The one-handed catch
One-handed catch from Ayton. That's his number one.
And then the second one will have to go to the reverse because his head was by the rim.
Head was by the rim.
Yeah.
So this is one.
This is one for me.
Yep.
Because the degree of difficulty is because LeBron thought it was going to go to his right hand, but it goes to his left hand,
right.
and he has to reach back and catch this one and slam it home and stick it.
Yeah, that's the degree of difficulty for sure.
Yeah.
And then this would be your number two.
This is my number two.
Is that your two, James? Do you agree with Rob so far?
Yeah. Definitely the first one. And this reverse dunk here was my second one. I know you had one. He had another one with a little
The lefty one for me is.
I like that one too.
Man.
But these two is. I might put that left.
In real time, this was crazy. But when you watch them again, man,
They all
you got to go with the catching.
The thing
left.
is that any dunk at 41
Yeah.
is amazing.
38 assists tonight, big game.
We always talk about guys just wanting to touch the rock.
Yep.
In tonight's case, Ayton touched it, scored. And indirect passes, that's all guys want. When the ball is moving, the offense is moving, the defense is activated. You got to make the defense, and they got some really nice buckets because of the movement of the basketball. They moved the defense, therefore the ball moved in positions that they could get good shots.
Yeah, for me, when you move the ball like that, I talk about it all the time. It's about sharing is caring. And when you move the ball like that, so many people get involved. They feel like they're engaged. And a lot of times, you should feel engaged. But no, if you've never played the game and you get a chance to just see if it's round, okay, I'm out here.
Feels good.
Move it on. It just feels good to hold that thing. It's like, okay, I got the Midas touch now. I can use this to either pass, score. I just want to feel involved. When sometimes you just stand in the corner and you're over here looking in the stands, you're wondering where you're going to eat after the game because the ball's not coming. It's a big difference.
So many parts of life, Rob, you just want to be involved.
Exactly.
All we want to do is be involved. Nice to see. Otherwise, big moving forward.
It's great to see, especially, he had that little slump earlier, but now he's knocked that rust off and he's really finding his rhythm. I think a lot of times when Luka's able to get his feet set, I know he's one of the most incredible shooters shooting off balance, but when he can get you that rock back right there and then shoot it with no contest, he's usually money.
And by the way, James, I know it's a small sample size, just 10 games, but considering where they were bottom of the league in three-point shooting, they're 41% over the last 10.
Yeah.
That's a big number.
Yeah, it's one thing to get a three-point shot, and they miss a lot over several games. But when the rhythm is good and the ball is moving and you worked up a good lather, you're getting up and down the court, the threes come a little bit more easier, I think, when the ball is moving, you drive.
Are the Lakers about to engineer the most spectacular trade deadline heist since they somehow bamboozled Dallas into giving them Luka Doncic? Or are we witnessing Rob Pelinka's slow-motion car crash into irrelevance while LeBron James contemplates hanging up his sneakers at 41 and Austin Reeves nurses what might be the most conveniently timed calf strain in NBA history? With exactly 5 days remaining until the February 5th deadline, the rumor mill is spinning faster than Dalton X. Confidence plummeting into the Mariana Trench. And honestly, the Lakers front office appears more lost than a GPS system during a solar eclipse. But buckle up, because the next 5 days could reshape the entire trajectory of this franchise, assuming they don't trip over their own salary cap restrictions and fall face first into mediocrity. The DeAndre Hunter soap opera has more twists than a Christopher Nolan movie and twice as many complications. Chris Feder from Cleveland dropped the nuclear bomb on his Wine and Gold podcast, revealing that sources told him the Cavs and the Lakers have discussed a general framework surrounding DeAndre Hunter of Rui Hachimura and Dalton Knecht, and then bringing in a third team. That third team is Brooklyn, because apparently every Lakers trade needs more moving parts than a Swiss watch factory. Brett Segal from Clutch Points confirmed the Lakers want Day'Ron Sharpe as part of the package. A 24-year-old center averaging 8 points and 6.3 rebounds on 60.3% shooting, who signed a 2-year, $12.5 million deal last summer. The challenge here is navigating salary cap hell. The Cavaliers are sitting $22 million over the second apron, making them the only team in that financial wasteland. While the Lakers are hard capped at the first apron with less than $900,000 of wiggle room. Cleveland can't aggregate multiple players in a trade and can't take back more money than they send out, which makes this three-team structure absolutely mandatory. Hunter would bring his $23.3 million salary this year and $24.9 million next season, eating into the Lakers' projected $55 million in summer cap space, while averaging 13.9 points per game, mostly off the bench, with a career-worst 30.9% from three-point range. Meanwhile, Hachimura is absolutely torching nets at 43. 3% from deep on 4.2 attempts per game, making this trade feel like trading a Lamborghini for a bicycle with a flat tire. Even more damning, Cleveland has a plus 10 net rating when Hunter rides the bench, which basically means the Cavaliers play better when he's not on the court. Siegel reported that Hunter is likely to be traded before the deadline and at the top of the Lakers' list for wing targets. But the Cavaliers' motivation is purely financial. They need salary relief from being the only team drowning in second apron penalties. Dalton X's psychological demolition represents one of the most spectacular mental collapses in recent Lakers history. And that's saying something considering this organization's track record with young players. Anthony Irwin from Offside confirmed that Knecht and his representatives approached Rob Pelinka requesting a trade, which is NBA speak for please get me the hell out of here before I completely forget how to play. Basketball, Yahoo Sports reported the Lakers are willing to move Knecht to give him a change of scenery, which feels like organizational surrender disguised as compassion. The numbers tell a horror story to 4.8 points per game on 43.7% shooting from the field and 9% from three-point range while playing just 12.1 minutes per contest. A catastrophic fall from his rookie season when he averaged 9.1 points on 37.6% three-point shooting. What triggered this meltdown? The Charlotte trade debacle that never happened. Last February, the Lakers agreed to trade Knecht, Cam Reddish, a future first-round pick, and a pick swap to Charlotte for Mark Williams. But the deal was rescinded when Williams failed his physical. Knecht was literally untraded, and according to multiple reports, never psychologically recovered from being jerked around like a rag doll in a tornado. Cleveland is supposedly interested in him as a buy low opportunity in the Hunter deal, which translates to maybe someone else can fix whatever we broke. The Lakers might need to attach a second-round pick just to facilitate his departure, representing a complete organizational failure in player development that would make even the Kings blush. The Austin Reaves situation has more layers than an onion wrapped in a riddle inside an enigma, starting with his grade 2 gastrocnemia strain that's kept him sidelined since Christmas Day and the Rich Paul podcast, controversy that exploded like a social media nuclear bomb. Paul suggested on his Game Over podcast that the Lakers should trade Reaves to Memphis for Jaren Jackson Jr., saying, "If I was the Lakers, I would probably be targeting the Memphis Grizzlies as a trade partner for Jaren Jackson, and Austin would get his money. Memphis would definitely pay Austin. He would become their point guard leading scorer." LeBron James quickly distanced himself from his agents' comments, telling ESPN's Dave McMenamin that Rich is his own man, and what Rich says is not a direct reflection of me and how I feel, adding Rich as his perspective of what he sees. I have my perspective. I'm a grown man. He's a grown man, and I think people should realize that grown men can say whatever they want to say, and it shouldn't reflect somebody else. The fallout was swift and awkward. One of Reaves' agents, Reggie Berry from AMR Agency, confronted Paul at halftime during the Lakers-Hawks game, engaging in a conversation that lasted more than 5 minutes about Paul's public trade scenario. Before his injury, Reaves was having the best season of his career with 26.6 points, 6.3 assists, and 5.2 rebounds per game while shooting 50.7% from the field and 87.3% from the free throw line in 5 games without Doncic this season. He averaged an absolutely bonkers 40.8 points and 9.6 assists, basically transforming into prime James Harden overnight. JJ Redick told reporters Saturday that Reaves could return as soon as Wednesday against Cleveland, though he was subsequently downgraded 2 outs for that game. The injury essentially eliminated any possibility of Reaves being traded at the deadline because teams can't properly evaluate an injured player, especially one facing a massive contract decision this summer when he's expected to opt out of his $14.9 million player option to pursue a $185.9 million max deal or a 5-year, $240.7 million max that only the Lakers can offer. Keon Ellis has become the hottest commodity at this trade deadline, with Mark Stein reporting that 14 teams have called Sacramento to inquire about the 26-year-old guard, which represents nearly half the league, forming a very orderly line to beg pretty please with a cherry on top. The Lakers, Clippers, Cavaliers, Celtics, Knicks, and Warriors are all confirmed suitors for a player who's averaging 8.8 points, 3.5 rebounds, and shooting 36. 2% from 3 this season, while maintaining a career 41.4% mark from deep on an expiring minimum contract. Ellis is the definition of a high reward acquisition, a 6 feet 4 inches defender with elite basketball IQ who could immediately contribute to any contender's rotation. Jake Fisher reported that Sacramento is sifting through various scenarios for Keon Ellis, several of which would include trading out veteran forward DeMar DeRozan or combo guard Malik Monk along with him. The Kings could package Ellis with Monk for $21 million combined salaries, or DeRozan for $27 million total in larger deals. Ellis is eligible for a contract extension after February 9th, and if teams can't reach that extension, he becomes an unrestricted free agent next summer, adding urgency to any potential deal. The challenge for the Lakers is competing with 13 other desperate franchises while lacking the premium assets Sacramento might prefer. LeBron James' future represents the ultimate wildcard in all Lakers planning, with the 41-year-old playing on an expiring contract while keeping everyone guessing about retirement, re-signing, or exploring other options. Brian Windhorst was brutally honest on the Hoop Collective podcast, saying, "Based on my conversations, I honestly think they don't know. As far as I know, he's honestly going year to year. Could this be his last year? Yes. Will it be his last year? I don't know. Does he know right now? Maybe, but my interpretation is that it has not been established." Lou Williams predicted on TV's Run It Back that next season would be LeBron's farewell tour, while Cousins believes he'll finish his career in Cleveland rather than Los Angeles. The betting markets reflect this uncertainty, with FanDuel giving him plus 144 odds to announce retirement by the 2026-27 season, essentially a 30% probability. Shams Charania reported that the reality is here. What we're having right now, this is an end of a relationship in terms of LeBron James and the Lakers, whether through retirement, free agency, or one final season. Rich Paul's earlier statement about LeBron wanting to compete for a championship while understanding the Lakers are building for the future reads like diplomatic preparation for an eventual divorce. If LeBron wants to return to LA, ESPN's Brian Windhorst says the Lakers are almost certainly going to ask him to take a significant pay cut from his current trajectory, which should go over about as well as asking Gordon Ramsay to compliment a gas station hot dog. James is averaging 22.3 points, 6.0 rebounds, and 6.9 assists while shooting a remarkable 58% from the field. But he's missed 17 games already due to foot arthritis and sciatica issues. And JJ Redick said every remaining back-to-back is TBD for the aging superstar. Giannis Antetokounmpo represents the Lakers' ultimate summer fantasy, even though current trade scenarios feel more like fan fiction than realistic possibilities. Howard Beck from The Ringer mentioned on the Zach Lowe show that the Lakers were a team to keep an eye from Giannis' standpoint, just as another team of interest, though he acknowledged there's a difficulty there in terms of trade assets. Shams Charania reported Wednesday that Giannis is ready for a new home and the Bucks are starting to listen to offers, with Milwaukee indicating they want a blue-chip young talent or a surplus of draft picks, and not in a rush to complete a move before the deadline. The problem is Golden State can offer up to 4 first-round picks, pick swaps, Jonathan Kuminga, Jimmy Butler for salary matching, and potentially more. While the Lakers can currently trade exactly 1 first-round pick in 2031, Jovan Buhar reported that the Lakers are clinging to their 2026 first-round pick specifically for a potential shot at Giannis this summer or next season, when they'll have access to 3 tradable first-rounders and clearer salary cap flexibility. Jake Fisher mentioned this was a situation Giannis had his eye on when Doncic was still in Dallas 6 years ago, suggesting foundational interest exists. The Lakers would need Giannis to specifically request Los Angeles as a destination to have any realistic chance. Similar to how the Anthony Davis trade materialized, but competing with teams like Golden State, New York, and Miami will require creative asset management and probably some divine intervention. the Pelicans situation with Herb Jones and Trey Murphy. 3 represents everything wrong with the Lakers' current asset situation, as both players would immediately solve defensive problems but remain completely untouchable in New Orleans. Ramona Shelburne was crystal clear on Mason and Ireland, explaining, "I don't think the Pelicans are thinking about trading Herb Jones or Trey Murphy. I don't think they're thinking about trading any of those guys because unless you blow them away with an offer, because they owe their first-round pick to the Atlanta Hawks." Brett Siegel reported that both players have maintained high asking prices, starting at a minimum of 2 unprotected first-round picks, which the Lakers simply cannot provide given their limited draft capital. Kevin O'Connor suggested on his podcast that there's mutual interest between Jones and the Lakers, saying, "I think they definitely have interest on Herb Jones. Probably too pricey," while noting the market for athletic, defensive-minded players is extremely slim this year. Jones is averaging 9.5 points, 3.7 rebounds, 2.4 assists, and 1.7 steals per game while anchoring New Orleans defensively. And Luka Doncic has previously praised Jones as one of the toughest defenders he's faced, alongside Marcus Smart. Murphy has continued building on last season's breakout with 20.8 points, 6.3 rebounds, 3.5 assists, and a career-high 7 steals, while shooting 49.4% from the field and 36.5% from 3 across 28 games. Mark Stein confirmed that New Orleans still remains resistant to trade interest in both Herb Jones and Trey Murphy 3, essentially telling interested teams to stop calling unless they're prepared to mortgage their entire future. The Pelicans' resistance stems partly from their 2026 first-round pick obligation to Atlanta from the Derek Queen trade, leaving them unable to afford losing core players without overwhelming returns. Jonathan Kuminga's trade demand from Golden State created brief Lakers speculation that died faster than a phone battery at 1%, with the Warriors making it abundantly clear they have zero interest in anything Los Angeles can offer. Brett Siegel reported that multiple league sources tell Clutch Points that there are no active ongoing discussions between the Warriors and Lakers regarding Jonathan Kuminga. The Lakers do hold interest in Kuminga, but the Warriors have made it clear LA has nothing of value to them. There is no offer. This represents a rare instance of NBA front offices being honest about trade negotiations rather than engaging in diplomatic niceties. Kuminga officially demanded a trade on January 15th. The first day he became eligible after signing a 2-year, $46.8 million contract with a team option for next season. He hasn't played since December 7th after Steve Kerr buried him at the bottom of the rotation and recently suffered a bone bruise in his left knee that doesn't have a timeline for return. ESPN's Anthony Slater reported that multiple Warriors sources suggested Kuminga is less likely to be dealt following Jimmy Butler's season-ending ACL tear, as Golden State might prefer keeping their depth rather than making win-now moves with diminished championship odds. The Sacramento Kings remain Kuminga's most likely destination, though their original offer of Malik Monk and a 2030 first-round pick is reportedly no longer on the table, with the draft pick being taken off the table for a long time now, according to league sources. CBS Sports floated a hypothetical Lakers package of Rui Hachimura and Dalton Knecht for Kuminga, but described it as a last resort trade. For both sides, that would represent shuffling deck chairs rather than genuine improvement. Michael Porter Jr.'s career year in Brooklyn has generated significant trade buzz, but the Lakers are definitively not pursuing him despite his impressive 25.6 points, 7.3 rebounds, 48.2% shooting, and 39.8% three-point shooting because of contract concerns. Brett Siegel confirmed that Lakers not pursuing Porter due to contract, specifically his $40.8 million salary in 2026-7, that would compromise their summer flexibility plans. Brian Windhorst reported on ESPN that Porter not actually available despite rumors, while Mark Stein noted hearing pushback about Nets' willingness to part with Porter from league sources. The Nets are apparently comfortable keeping Porter beyond the deadline if their asking price isn't met, which makes sense given his production and the franchise's current competitive window. Warriors had internal discussions about Porter but found the asking price too prohibitive, and the Lakers-Nets relationship exists from previous trades like the Dorian Finney-Smith deal, but not at Porter's salary level. The Lakers are prioritizing maintaining their projected $55 million in summer cap space over adding expensive talent mid-season, which represents sound long-term planning but feels frustrating when watching their defense allow 1 points per 100 possessions, ranking 26th in the league. Walker Kessler's season-ending shoulder surgery eliminated him as a trade deadline target but keeps him firmly in the Lakers' summer plans as a restricted free agent who fits perfectly with Luka Doncic's preferred center profile. Kessler played only 5 games before undergoing surgery in November to repair a torn labrum, averaging ridiculous numbers of 14.4 points, 10.8 rebounds, and 70.3% shooting in limited action. He was prominently featured on Luka Center wish list from last year's trade deadline alongside Jalen Duren and Nick Claxton, with sources confirming the Lakers' continued interest in adding elite rim protection. Kessler will become a restricted free agent in summer 2026, meaning the Lakers would need to make an aggressive offer to force Utah to match, similar to how they pursued other young centers in previous summers. His defensive metrics compare favorably to Victor Wembanyama in certain categories according to advanced analytics, making him an ideal long-term solution at center alongside Doncic's playmaking. The Jazz are unlikely to simply let Kessler walk, but the Lakers' projected cap space could enable an offer sheet significant enough to force difficult decisions in Utah, especially if they're prioritizing other roster areas. The Lakers' broader trade deadline strategy involves converting single assets into multiple pieces to increase flexibility, with Dave McMenamin confirming they've canvassed teams over the past month attempting to trade their 2031 or 2032 first-rounder for multiple less valuable first-round picks. This approach, similar to Phoenix's strategy last season with Utah, would give the Lakers more ammunition for multiple trades rather than waiting for the perfect opportunity to use one premium asset. ESPN's McMenamin also reported the Lakers have explored pairing expiring contracts like Gabe Vincent and Maxi Kleber in packages that could facilitate larger moves. The team's current record of 28-80 in places them 5th in the Western Conference, but they've lost 7 of their last 13 games while allowing opponents to score at historically bad rates during certain stretches. JJ Redick's frustration with the defensive effort has become increasingly visible, with the coach openly questioning effort levels and scheme execution in recent press conferences. The Lakers are only going to sacrifice their projected financial flexibility for a real needle mover, according to Mark Stein, suggesting they're prepared to be patient until summer unless an unexpected opportunity emerges. Additional targets on the Lakers' radar include Denver's Peyton Watson, though Jake Fisher reports the Nuggets aren't trading him despite Lakers' interest among other teams. Broderick Turner from the LA Times confirmed Lakers' interest in Minnesota's Dante DiVincenzo and Dallas Najee Martin. Though both teams are reportedly reluctant to help a Western Conference rival, the Mavericks' resistance to trading Marshall, specifically to the Lakers, adds another layer of complexity given Luka's previous relationship with the franchise. New Orleans remains resistant to trading either Herb Jones or Trey Murphy III, according to Mark Stein, forcing the Lakers to explore secondary options in a market that's a bit dry for exactly the type of two-way wings they need. The Lakers continue exploring 3-team frameworks that might unlock otherwise impossible trades, with Brooklyn serving as a frequent 13 facilitator given their flexibility and willingness to absorb contracts for asset compensation, with exactly 5 days remaining until the February 5th deadline at 12 p.m. PT. The Lakers face fundamental questions about their competitive timeline and asset allocation that will define their franchise direction for years. Rob Pelinka must balance LeBron's potentially final season against Luka Doncic's ascending prime while managing salary cap restrictions that limit their current flexibility but could provide substantial summer opportunities. The DeAndre Hunter trade appears most realistic, despite its flaws. Keon Ellis represents the ideal addition if they can win a 14-team bidding war, and Giannis Antetokounmpo remains a summer pipe dream that could become reality with proper preparation and a little luck. The margin for error continues shrinking as the Western Conference arms race intensifies, leaving the Lakers stuck between competing now and building for the future, while hoping their front office is as smart as they think they are, because the next 5 days could determine whether this season ends in championship contention or another disappointing playoff exit.